increasing your productivity and ability to learn. Bear with me for a few minutes, and I'll tell you how a half hour a day can lead you to all this. How many of you have ever exercised in any form? I'll bet about all of you have exercised at least one time in your life. My second question is why? There are probably several reasons: to improve the way you look, to improve your health, or just for fun. Exercise. The United States as a whole is a very disciplined society. That's great. I'm not here to knock that. But what about our minds? How disciplined are our brains? How many times have you daydreamed through a class or a speech, or read a whole chapter in a book and not be able to recall one word of it? Or do you have to go to the deepest, darkest corner of the library just to escape distraction? All these problems are caused by an undisciplined mind, or more simply, the inability of itself. I think that there's nothing we can do about this, so we just accept it. This is a classic example of Western thought. When I say Western, I mean the United States and Europe. In the East, meaning India and the Orient, this is not the case. Comparatively, in the East, a lot more value is placed on the discipline of the mind. It is commonly known as meditation. And that's what I'm here to discuss today, how we can learn from the Eastern world and their values pertaining to the disciplined mind. Today I'm going to discuss first what meditation is, second, benefits of meditation, and third, how to meditate. Now you probably have this picture in your mind of an old guy with no hair and long flowing robes up in the mountains, and this is what you think the typical meditator looks like. And this is just a common fallacy. Another common fallacy is that meditation is a religion. This is totally untrue. Meditation has nothing to do with religion. And meditation is simply a method that leads you to understand your inner self, and the goal of which is pure happiness. And to be truly happy, we must know ourselves. In his book, The Practical Meditator, by Henry Masur, he says, quote, "Before one can know God, you must know yourself." This brings up another of the central ideas of meditation, that God exists in all of us, and that in order to become happy, you must know yourself and therefore know God. And this is basically what meditation is. And there are many different types of meditation, including Zen, Sufi, Transcendental Meditation, Yoga, and Theravada. But they're all basically techniques to achieve the same goal. Now this all sounds great, but you're probably still thinking, well, can meditation really do for me some of those things I mentioned in the beginning of my speech? Well, yes, it can. And there are countless positive aspects of it. And I'm just going to hit the highlights for you today. Now, first, physiologically. Regular meditation can lower your blood pressure, your heart rate, and your metabolic rate. And your metabolic rate is the rate at which your body burns calories. So in other words, your body becomes more efficient. Regular meditation also reduces tension and anxiety, which is commonly known to cause heart disease. It reduces the likelihood of becoming ill or getting a disease. It also reduces insomnia, hypertension, headaches, and asthma. And regular meditation also gives you a generally increased energy level. Now, psychologically, you have a generally improved sense of well-being. You have a greater ability to deal with addictions such as drug and nicotine. Regular meditation increases your orderliness of thinking. It increases your productivity, job performance, and job satisfaction. And it improves your learning ability. And here's probably one you'd be most interested in. It improves your academic performance. Visual aid. Blah, blah, blah. Now, all these benefits are real. They're not just some stuff that people made up. They're scientifically researched and supported, and you can find all this research in a book called The Relaxation Response by Dr. Herbert Brown, who is a doctor at the Harvard Medical School. Now, I think you'd all have to agree that it seems like regular meditation could be beneficial to us all. Now you're probably wondering, how do you go about meditating? Now, I can just give you the basics. I can't tell you in any great deal how to do it. If you're really interested in learning, you have to have somebody teach you that is an expert on the subject. But like I said, I can give you the basics. Now, there's a great many variety of methods, and some are really complex, such as Zen, which can't even be defined unless you study it for years. And then there's some simple techniques, such as Transcendental Meditation. In the book How to Meditate by Lawrence LeShan, he outlines some of the basics for meditation. First, you need to focus, or in other words, something to concentrate your mind on. Then you need a mantra, which is something that, a word of personal significance to you that you repeat over and over again. And then there's the position, which is basically how you sit or lie down, whichever comfortable position feels comfortable for you. And then there's your breathing, and regulated breathing is an important part of any meditation. As for your focus, breath counting can be used as a good focus. For instance, you would count your breaths up to 4, counting each time you inhale, and starting over once you get to 4. But you have to repeat this for 15 to 20 minutes, and it's just a way to focus your mind. Another way is the mantra technique, like I mentioned earlier, which is, like I said, repeating a word or phrase of personal significance to you. And another method for focusing your mind is by use of an object of personal value or significance, just concentrating on that object. Now, there's one exception to these 4 basic principles, and that's transcendental meditation. Transcendental meditation, or TM for short, requires no concentration or contemplation. It can be learned in a few hours instead of a few months or years. In the book called The TM Book by Denise Denister and Peter McWilliams, a definition is given. Quote, transcendental meditation technique is a simple, natural, effortless process that allows the mind to experience subtler and subtler levels of the thinking process until thinking is transcended and the mind comes into direct contact with the source of thought. I can't really tell you the secrets behind TM because it has to be taught to you by a licensed teacher, and it also costs about $65 for 4 2-hour sessions. So if you're really interested, you're going to have to shell out some bucks. But the advantage to TM is that you learn to meditate in your first 2-hour session, and the other sessions just ensure your progress. And this technique sounds like it may be more beneficial for us in the Western world. Techniques require a lot of practice and patience. And today we have talked about 3 things: what meditation is, the benefits of meditation, and how to meditate. The Western world places a lot more value in the discipline. We learn a lot from this example. Maybe one day we'll spend as much time improving our minds as we do our bodies. And with more people benefiting from meditation, the world will be a better place to live in. Also, imagine the technological leaps we could make if we were able to tap the unused resources of the brain. I don't think it is necessary for us all to make a pilgrimage to India, China, or Japan and go live with a guru up in the mountains. I don't think that's necessary, but with the ever-increasing popularity and availability of TM, we can all learn without changing our lifestyles at all. And I'm going to leave you with a quote from the founder of Transcendental Meditation. His name is Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. And he says, quote, man's failure to meet the demands of progress results from his inability to utilize his full physical, emotional, and mental capability.